This sedan claims supercar power, nearly 1,000-kilometer range, and absurdly fast charging, but is the Yangwang U7 a technical miracle or a clever marketing? Stick around and then I will show you the specs, the charging math, and the real trade-offs that matter for buyers. You're tearing into the Yangwang U7, BYD's ultra-luxury 4-motor sedan that packs quad motors, active suspension, and massive Blade Battery, and one of the boldest charging features this year. I'll explain the headline numbers, why the charging claims change, how you plan road trips, and the hidden engineering choices that make those claims possible and risky. You'll get clear numbers, source tests, and one simple rule to decide if the U7 is worth the hype. Hello everyone, I'm Shayan, an engineer specialized in electric vehicle development. What the U7 actually is, the elevator pitch. The Yangwang U7 is BYD's full-size luxury EV offering a quad-motor layout, advanced active suspension, and Blade-type LFP battery packs in very large capacities. The EV version uses 135.5 kWh pack, and BYD has announced an optional 150 kWh pack. BYD advertises long CLTC ranges and high peak charging rates up to about 500 kW for the current one, with the newer battery technology claiming even faster flash charging in the pipeline. But headlines don't tell the whole story. Claimed range figures use China's CLTC cycle, which runs significantly more optimistic than WLTP or EPA numbers used in other markets. So the range you get in a practice will usually be lower than this sticker. Charging, the party tricks everyone talks about. BYD says the U7 can accept very high DC power. And with the new Blade Battery 2, BYD has been claiming even faster flash charging capabilities. Numbers like 70% in minutes have been mentioned in recent coverage. That changes the mental model of road trips. If you can reliably add hundreds of kilometers in a single quick stop, long journeys become more like gas stops. But the charging reality depends on more than peak kilowatt. Real stop time is about sustained power across the charging window, battery state of charge on arrival, and temperature. A 500 kilowatt peak for 10 to 30 seconds it doesn't equal adding lots of miles unless the car can sustain high power for many minutes. And that requires sophisticated thermal management and a charger capable of delivering sustained power. Battery pack choices and energy math. 135.5 kilowatt pack on the U7 and the optional 150 kilowatt hour upgrade gives enormous usable energy. If you assume real-world consumption around 20 to 23 kWh per 100 km, a 135.5 kWh pack translates to roughly 590 to 675 km of real driving range in friendly conditions. The 150 kWh option stretches that further. That's why BYD can claim 700 to 1,000 km in CLTC tests. The raw battery energy is simply massive. But bigger batteries bring downsides. Extra weight. The U7 packs can weigh around 900 kilograms, resulting in heavier chassis mass and different handling and braking behavior. It also means recharge sessions add many more kilowatt hours to the refill. So even with ultra-fast charging, you still need robust charging infrastructure to realize the practical benefit. Performance and technology features that matter here. The U7's quad motor make the headline numbers eye-watering. Combined output often quoted around 1,200 to plus 1,300 horsepower and 1,500 to 1,700 Newton meter of torque, which translates into sprint times in the sub 3 seconds range for certain trips. The car also packs active suspension, DISOS Z millisecond reaction times. Inboard displays for passenger controls, AR, HUD, and a full suite of sensors and driver assistance. The cockpit is much tech demo as a car. But raw power and gadgetry require trade-offs. High power means higher thermal loads during spirited driving, which impacts range and charging behavior. And complex active systems add weight and service complexity that buyers should factor into ownership costs and reliability expectations. The central tension, headline speed versus everyday reality. BYD's numbers are exciting, huge packs and the blistering peaks. But the real challenge is turning those specs into consistent real-world convenience. Fast charging depends on external chargers that can deliver and sustain high power. And battery health depends on how often the car sees ultra-fast fills versus gentle AC top-ups. The question becomes, will owners actually get the flash charging lifestyle BYD advertises, or will infrastructure and thermal limits clip the promise? But that's not just academic, it affects how you own and use the car. If you can only find 150 to 250 kilowatt public chargers on your route, the U7's huge pack still helps, but the time saving shrink. And if you fast charge every day to shave minutes, you risk faster battery wear unless the chemistry and thermal systems are engineered to handle it. Road trip math, planning steps for the U7. Let's do a simple scenario. Suppose the U7 has an effective real consumption of 21 kilowatt hour per 100 kilometers. The 135.5 kilowatt hour pack gives about 645 kilometer usable range in mild conditions. If a 500 kilowatt charger can sustain an average of 300 kilowatt during the most useful portion of a session, that's 5 kilowatt hour per minute. Roughly 24 minutes to add 120 kilowatt hour, which is a meaningful refill. In practice, charging curves taper and initial minutes often deliver the best power. So arriving at a lower state of charge and preconditioning the battery will maximize the useful high power window. But remember, to realize that session, you need chargers that can supply that power consistently and a car battery preconditioned to the right temperature. Without both, you'll see reduced power and longer stops. Charging infrastructure and BYD plans. BYD isn't just selling cars, it's pushing charger networks and a new battery technology. Recent company announcements and reporting say BYD plans to expand flash charging stations, and that Blade Battery 2 aims to support much faster top-ups and battery cold performance, which would be a game changer for real-world uses. If BYD's network rollout matches the claims, that eliminates a big adoption hurdle. But network rollout takes time and capital, and you'll still face regional gaps. Expect the flash charging lifestyle to work best in major corridors and urban areas where high power chargers are concentrated, not everywhere. Ownership costs and practicality. High-end technology costs more to service, but BYD also benefits from vertical integration. Battery manufacturing in-house, which can lower long-term parts pressure. The U7's heavy pack may impact tire and brake wear, and service centers need training to handle the active suspension and in-car systems. Warranty and software update policies matter too. BYD's coverage on the batteries and software will influence ownership peace of mind. But the surprising upside is second life value. Very durable LFP blade cells and large packs can be repurposed for grid storage more easily than older chemistries, improving life cycle economics if BYD supports repurposing. The decision rule: who should buy a Yangwang U7? If you want an ultra-luxury EV with extreme range and the potential of near instant highway top-ups, and you live where BYD's fast charging vision is likely to be supported, the U7 is a shockingly compelling technical package. It blends supercar acceleration with a luxury interior and a battery that is genuinely huge. But if your life depends on consistent global infrastructure, frequent cross-country travel in regions without high-power hubs, or you prefer minimal maintenance and lighter cars, the U7's advantages may be muted by real-world limits, chargers, availability, and actual range under EPA or WLTP conditions, and the weight penalties of a giant battery. Final takeaway, in plain language: the Yangwang U7 is a tech tour de force. Massive LFP battery options, quad motor power, and fast charging ambitions that change what long trips can feel like. But specs are the beginning. A real value comes from sustained charging curves, battery thermal design, and the charging network. If BYD's Blade Battery upgrades and flash charging rollout match the claims, the U7 could make long EV trips effortless. If they don't, the U7 still delivers a lot of range and power. Just the trade-offs in weight and real-world stops times.